Good morning, dear students. Hope you all are studying hard at home and enjoying the e-learning initiative of Cambridge International School, Dusua. I'm your accountancy teacher, Mr. Sunil Kumar. Today, we will learn one more topic of the chapter. But before begin with the topic, let's recapitulate what we have done in our previous lesson. Before starting the question, we have to recap the rules for debit and credit by both the approaches, that is traditional approach and modern approach. First, we will take traditional approach. According to the traditional approach, accounts are divided into personal account and impersonal account. In personal account, we will take a natural person, artificial person, a representative person. In natural person, these are the persons which is created by God. These are like Aman, Raman, Radha, Mukesh, etc. Artificial person. Artificial person means person which is created by law, and it can be any business. It's a small business or a large business. For example, Tata Industries, Reliance Industries, Punjab National Bank, State Bank of India, Cambridge International School, Chandigarh University, etc. are artificial persons. The representative persons, these are the persons which represents a group of person like outstanding expenses, accrued income, income received in advance, etc. Now, impersonal account, it covers two accounts, that is real account and nominal account. In real account, all the assets will be taken like tangible assets, intangible assets, fixed assets, current assets, etc. And nominal account, in nominal account we will take all expenses and losses, incomes and gains. This is the traditional approach. Rules for debit and credit by traditional approach are here below. Number 1, personal account. It covers all the persons, natural person, artificial person, and representative person. Rule for the personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Second is a real account. It covers all the assets, whether it's intangible assets, tangible assets, current assets, or fixed assets. Few of the example of assets are land, building, cash, etc. The rule for the real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Number 3, nominal account. Nominal account covers all expenses, losses, incomes and gains. And the rule for the nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Accounts covered under modern approach. Number 1, assets. Number 2, liabilities. Number 3, capital. Number 4, revenue. Number 5, expenses. Here are the rules for debit and credit by modern approach. Modern approach covers 5 heads. These are assets, liabilities, capital, revenue, and expenses. According to the modern approach, accounts are debit or credit when they are increased or decreased. So let's see all the accounts, when they increase or decrease, what effect they put on journal entries. Number one is assets. When assets are increased, it will be debited. When assets are decreased, it will be credited. Number two, liabilities. Increase in the value of liabilities, credit. Decrease in the value of liabilities, debit. Number three, capital. Increase in the value of capital, credit. Decrease in the value of capital, debit. Number four, revenue. Revenue is also known as income. Increase in the amount of revenue, credit. Decrease in the amount of revenue, debit. Number five, expenses. Increase in the amount of expenses, debit. Decrease in the amount of expenses, credit. So this is the modern approach and the rules for debit and credit by modern approach. Today we will solve one of the questions from textbook Double Entry Bookkeeping Financial Accounting written by Dr. T.S. Garewal. Through this question we will learn how to solve a comprehensive problem of journal. Here is the question we will solve today. Journalize the following transactions. Number 1. Mr. Preetham started business with cash rupees 40,000, check rupees 60,000 and building valued at rupees 5 lakh. These are the things brought in by the owner of the business at the commencement of business. Second, purchased goods amounting to rupees 2 lakh, out of which goods of rupees 1,80,000 were purchased on credit from D. Lala. Number 3, sold goods on credit to Ramesh, rupees 1,60,000. Number 4, received check for rupees 1,56,000 from Ramesh in full settlement of his account. 6, paid rupees 1,78,000 to D. Lala in full settlement of his account of rupees 1,80,000 due to him by check. 6th, an old machine with book value of 80,000 it exchanged for a new machine of rupees 2,40,000. The old machine is valued at 50,000 for exchange purpose by Machine Tools Limited. Machine Tool Limited is the company from whom we are purchasing a new machine. And the 7th one is paid income tax rupees 5,000. This is all our question. Let's see how to solve this question. It is a comprehensive question which involves lots of brainstorming. So let's start this question. The first transaction was Mr. Preetham started business with cash 40,000, check 60,000 and a building valued at 5 lakh. Now, first we have to identify what accounts are involved in it. So cash, bank and building, all the three are assets. So when we prepare journal, we prepare from the business point of view. So what comes in business or increasing for the business? So all the assets are increasing in the business. Cash is increasing, bank is increasing, building is increasing. So the rule here is increase in assets debit. So cash account debit with 40,000, bank account debit with 60,000, building account debit with 5 lakh. So the total of all is 6 lakh, which is credited with two capital account. Now, capital, why we have written capital here? Because capital is also increasing. So increasing capital is credited. Now, at the time of commencement of business or when you are starting a business, whatever you are bringing in the business, that all is known as capital. So at the time of commencement of business, a, if the owner is bringing cash, bank, building, stock, any assets, machinery, etc., all will be added and the total of it is credited in capital account because that all assets are bringing at the time of commencement of business. So the total of all the assets will be known as capital. So here the journal entry which we have made is cash account debit with 40,000, bank account debit with 60,000, building account debit with 5 lakh. The total of all of this is 6 lakh. So 2 we will credit to capital with 6 lakh. So the narration is being business started with cash, check and building. Number 2 is purchased goods amounting to rupees 2 lakh, out of which goods of rupees 1 lakh 80,000 were purchased on credit from Dilala. Now here we have bought total goods of rupees 2 lakh, out of which we are only getting 20,000 in cash, rest is in credit. So the journal entry would be purchases account debit. The total purchase is 2 lakh. To cash account 20,000. To D Lala's account 1 lakh 80,000. Now see the rules we have applied is purchases is an expense, so increase in an expense is debited, so purchases account is debited. To cash mean when we are purchasing goods, so we are paying cash is decreasing, so decrease in assets credited, so 20,000 is credited. To D Lala's account, D Lala is a person to whom we will pay in future, so D Lala is a liability for the business. So increase in liability is also credited. This journal entry is purchases account debit 2 lakh, to cash account 20,000, to D Lala's account 1 lakh 80,000. Narration is being goods purchased for cash rupees 20,000 and on credit from D Lala for rupees 1 lakh 80,000. Number 3, sold goods on credit to Ramesh 1 lakh 60,000. It's a simple journal entry. So we are selling goods to Ramesh for rupees 1 lakh 60,000. Here we have to identify the transaction, whether this transaction is a credit transaction or a cash transaction. To identify any transaction, whether it's a cash transaction or a credit transaction, we have to see two words in the transaction. Number 1, the name of a person. Yes, in the transaction there is a name of a person, that is Ramesh. Number 2, cash, the word cash is used or not. So in this transaction the word cash is not used, but we have to be extra cautious. Uh, in this transaction the word credit is clearly given, so we do not require to recognize or to identify this transaction whether it's a credit transaction or a cash transaction. So when the word credit is clearly given in the question, it means that transaction is a credit transaction. So we have sold goods to Ramesh. So the journal entry would be Ramesh account debit to sales account rupees 1 lakh 60,000, 1 lakh 60,000. Now Ramesh, why we have debited Ramesh? Because Ramesh is an asset for the organization. Ramesh is a debtor who is going to pay us in future. So Ramesh is an asset. So increase in asset is debit. To sales, sales is revenue. The rule is increase in revenue is credit. So Ramesh account debit to sales account rupees 1,60,000, 1,60,000. Narration is being goods sold to Ramesh on credit. Number 4, received check for rupees 1,56,000 from Ramesh in full settlement of his account. Now we can see that in the previous transaction, which is number 3, we sold goods to Ramesh for 1,60,000. But now when he's paying to us, he's just paying to us only 1,56,000, whereas he had to pay 1,60,000. There is a deficiency of 4,000 which he is not going to pay us. That is treated as discount which we are going to give to Ramesh. When in any question the word full settlement is written, it means discount is allowed or received. Now, in this question or in this transaction, we are going to receive cash or check from Ramesh. So here we are going to give discount to Ramesh. So the journal entry would be bank account debit 1,56,000, discount allowed debit 4,000 to Ramesh's account 1,60,000. Now see, according to the journal entry, Ramesh had to pay 1,60,000, but he gave us a check of rupees 1,56,000 and the difference of 4,000 that we have allowed him discount. Now see the rules applied in this journal entry. Bank account debit. Here, check, we are receiving check. For check, we write bank. So bank is an asset. Bank is increasing. So increase in assets debit. So bank account debit with 1,56,000. Discount allowed. We had to receive 1,60,000, but we received 1,56,000, 4,000's loss, which we are giving discount to Ramesh. Now, discount here is a loss for us. So, increase in expenses or losses would be debited. So, discount account debit with 4,000 to Ramesh. Ramesh is a person, or we can say he's a debtor. So, decrease in assets will be credited. So the journal entry is bank account debit, discount account debit to Ramesh account. Narration is being check received from Ramesh in full settlement of his account. Number 5th is paid rupees 1,78,000 to D. Lala in full settlement of his account, 1,80,000 due to him by check. Now here we are going to pay to D. Lala. We had to pay D. Lala 1,80,000, but we issued a check of rupees 1,78,000. So the difference is 2,000, which D. Lala is going to give us a discount, and this discount is income for the business. Now the journal entry. D. Lala's account debit with 1,80,000 to bank account 1,78,000 to discount received account 2,000. Let's see the rules. D. Lala is our liability. So decrease in liability is debit. So 1,80,000 is debited to bank. Bank here we are paying. So bank is an asset. Asset is decreasing. So decrease in asset is credited. So bank account is credited with 1,78,000 to discount received. Discount received is an income or revenue for the business. So increase in revenue is credited. Narration here is being check issued to D. Lala in full settlement of his due. Number six, an old machine with the book value of 80,000 is exchanged for a new machine of rupees 2,40,000. The old machine is valued at 50,000 for exchange purpose by Machine Tools Limited. Now we have seen a number of times there is an exchange offer in the market. If you want to buy a new mobile, give old mobile to the businessman and get new mobile, and the valuation of old mobile is done by the business man who is giving you the new mobile. So here is also what has happened. We are exchanging or we are purchasing a new machine, and in lieu of purchasing new machine we are giving our old machine. The value of old machine was 80,000, but when we gave that machine to the Machine Tool Limited company from whom we are buying new machine, they assess the value of that machine, old machine, only 50,000. So a machine of 80,000 is valued at 50,000. There is a loss of 30,000 directly. So the 30,000 value of our machine decreased. So there is a loss. So hope this concept is clear to everyone. There is a difference of 80,000 and 50,000 is 30,000, which is loss. Value of machine is 80,000, but at the time of purchasing new machine, the exchange value of our machine is 50,000. So there is a direct decrease of 30,000, which is our loss. Now we bought new machine. New machine is an asset for the organization which is increasing. So machine account debited. I write new machine because there are old machine as well as new machines. So that is why we mentioned which machine is new and which is old. The machinery account debit, that is increase in assets, 2,40,000. Profit and loss account, this is loss. All the losses or the profit hits to the profit and loss account. So here there is a loss, so all losses and expenses is debited. So here increase in loss is debit, profit and loss account is debit with rupees 30,000, which is a difference of 80,000 and 50,000. To old machine, the value of old machine is 80,000 according to the business. And now add 2,40,000 plus 2,30,000. There is the total of debit side. Debit side of sixth transaction is 2,70,000. Now out of 2,70,000, deduct 80,000, which is the value of old machine. We are left with 1,90,000. Now this 1,90,000 is a liability which we are going to pay in future to the creditor. Here the creditor is the Machine Tools Limited. Machine Tools Limited is a company from whom we are purchasing a new machine. And now we have not paid any amount. We just gave our old machine valuing 80,000 to the Machine Tool Limited. So in future we will be paying rupees 1,90,000 to the Machine Tool Limited because it's a creditor. So increase in liability is credit. So here the journal entry is machine account debit, profit and loss account debit. Machine account is debited with 2,40,000. Profit and loss account is debited with 30,000 to machine account, which is old machine, 80,000 to Machine Tools Limited, 1,90,000. So the narration is being the exchange of old machine worth rupees 80,000 valued at 50,000 for a new machine of rupees 2,40,000. Hope this point is clear. This is the only transaction in this question which is a complicated one. Hope you all understood how to do this transaction, and as if now you all are able to apply the rules while passing journal entries. And the seventh transaction is paid income tax, rupees 5,000. Now, income tax, if we see that income, income is earned by the owner of the business. For the business, there is profit, but income is for the owner of the business. Now we have to understand that owner and business both are different person. Owner is a natural person, business is an artificial person. According to the business entity concept, both the persons are different. So when the owner is paying income tax out of the money of the business, then it is treated as drawings. So the journal entry is drawings account debit 5,000 to cash account 5,000. Now drawing is this is decrease in capital. The rule which is applied here is decrease in capital. So drawing account, decrease in capital is debited. So drawing account is debited with 5,000 to cash. Cash here is decreasing. So decrease in asset is credited. Cash account is credited with 5,000. Narration is being income tax paid. This is all for the day. Thank you for listening it very patiently. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Thank you.